What is up, my cranky crew? It's Ethan from CrankGameplays, and I am back from tour. Oh, what an experience. I'm finally back from, what was it? Like a week and a half long of touring. We only did 6 shows, and we did 4 different venues, but holy shit, that was, like, seriously, a life-changing experience. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience that, like, I don't even know how to put into words, like, how I feel about tour. It was so amazing, and it was so cool, and it was so just, like, heartwarming to see so many of you guys come out to each and every show. Every show was sold out. We sold out every single show that we did, so all 6 of them, and it was so insane seeing all of you guys come out there and just like see how much you guys enjoyed every show, because afterwards we'd go on like Twitter and Tumblr and stuff and I'd check all the tags and stuff and everybody was just saying so many nice. I actually haven't seen anything bad about any of the shows yet, which is really good and very surprising, but I'm just really happy that so many of you enjoyed the performance that we did, because it was very different from a normal show. Like it wasn't a panel or anything that we would do at a convention. It was very different, and it was very much like a performance and a show, which is exactly what we wanted it to be, and we worked so hard. So all 5 of us, me, Mark, Tyler, Bob, Wade, the people that were in the show, and Dan as well, the people that were on stage, we all worked really hard, but also everybody that was involved in the show, everybody behind the scenes, all the cast and all the crew and all the directors and producers and everybody that was involved worked extremely hard. Like we were a very small part of the show, just because we were out on stage and actually like performing it or whatever. Like we would not be anywhere without the people that were behind the scenes. So just for all of the crew members and all of the security people and all the directors and producers and everybody, there's so many names and I'm so afraid to miss people, so I'm not even gonna say any names, but if you worked on the show, you know who you are. Thank you so much for making it possible and making it so successful, because without you, like, there would be no show, obviously. So just a big hand to all of those people who helped make the show possible, because like when we showed up for rehearsals, we had improv stuff that we had learned, and that was it, and there was so much more to the show. And so everybody who helped make the show possible, like, you created it, and the people up on stage were a very small part of the show. So just, I cannot thank the people that helped out with the show enough, because you guys did some amazing work, and you guys were working so incredibly hard. Like, all the crew worked so hard every single day to, like, make sure audio was good, and to make sure, like, the video was being captured correctly, and, like, to make sure, like, all the costumes were in the right places, and just, like, everything worked so smoothly, and it's all because of you guys. So thank you to all the crew people. I already miss you guys so much. It's like, we created, like, this little family on tour of, like, all the people that were involved, and we were just like hanging out every day and rehearsing and putting the show together, and it was just like this little family, and it was so sad at the end of tour. Like, we all went out and just like hung out one last time and had dinner, and then at the end it was like, we have to say goodbye. Oh no, this is so sad. But it was such an amazing experience. So I just wanted to get that out of the way first, just thanking all of the people involved, because like they made the show happen. So thank you guys so much. But what was tour like? I guess that's what this video is gonna be. So I guess I'll just start from the very beginning. So we left, I don't even know, like during tour, I had no concept of time at all, because not only were we jumping between like time zones and stuff because we were going to different cities, but also I had no idea what day it was every day. Like, we were during rehearsals, we were first rehearsing the show for 3 or 4 days, I think. And during that time, because where we were, the venue that we were rehearsing at was connected to the hotel that we were also staying at. So we were rehearsing for 3 or 4 days, but we didn't leave that building a single time. We did not go outside once. And so it was this weird thing where I was like getting up every day and going to rehearse all day long. Like some of the days were really, really long, like 12 hours long of rehearsing. And then we would just like eat dinner, go. We had like a little routine every day. We would get up, we'd go and eat at this like little diner thing that was in the hotel, and then we'd go and rehearse for hours, and then we'd go to lunch at the same place every single day, and then we'd go back and rehearse a little longer, and then go to dinner, and then we'd all just go upstairs and immediately pass out. Like really early too. Like the first day, I remember we didn't have like a full rehearsal. We just quickly ran through the stuff, and I fell asleep at like 7 o'clock or something like that. I was so tired. It was crazy, but we were all working really, really hard and really long days. And shout out to Amy and Catherine too, because a lot of like the VIP bags and stuff, they packed like all of those, and there were hundreds upon hundreds. I think there were like 2,400 or like 3,000 or something bags that they had to pack. They did such a good job. They were also going a little bit crazy, which was funny to witness. But during those days of rehearsal, it was so weird because we were just like doing the same thing every day, and none of us had any concept of time at all. We were like, I don't know what time it is. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what day of the week it is. We're just here in this infinite time loop, and it's going on forever. But it was cool to get to rehearse the show because the 5 of us who were on stage, so again, me, Mark, Tyler, Bob, Wade, and also Dan, the incredible piano player that we had up on stage doing the piano stuffs, which I'm sure you guys have seen videos of. He sort of like scored the entire show and would help us out with like the improv stuff by adding music in, and he added in sound effects and stuff. Really like incredibly talented dude. Also just like a super nice dude to hang out with. He was so nice, and just to hang out with and getting to know all of these new people was so cool because like tour is, we were on a tour bus together, and then we were seeing each other every single day to rehearse and then doing the shows together. So we got to know each other a lot, and it was just so cool making so many new friends and just seeing and just meeting so many new people that I hope to keep in touch with for a really long time, because the people that we worked with were just absolutely incredible people, just so nice and so helpful and so caring. And like everybody, the thing about it was like everybody cared about the show. They weren't just like the people in the crew and stuff like that. They weren't just in it because they were getting paid to do the lighting and do the costume stuff and do blah 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 blah. They genuinely cared about the show, and they cared about what we were doing, and they were passionate about it, and they weren't just doing it to get a paycheck. And that was something that was really cool to see. Just everybody come together, and at the end, so many people were crying at the last show. I'm sure you guys have seen videos and pictures and stuff by now, but like all 5 of us up on stage, we were fucking bitch babies. We were just crying a lot at the end of the show, and then we went backstage and a lot of the crew were crying too, and it was just like, we cared so much about this thing that we put together because it wasn't just one person, obviously. Like, it was so many people and so many different people's efforts, like, coming together to make this thing, and then we made this thing, and it was successful, and it worked out so well, and it was just like, this thing that we worked so hard on, it worked! It was awesome. It was so cool, and I just, like, the people that we got to work with were absolutely amazing. You know, just blah. I'm kind of repeating myself over and over again, but blah, I love you guys. So then, when we were at that venue, we were rehearsing like a bunch of different parts of the show, and then it was time to put it all together. So we had rehearsed the several different parts of the show, and then we had to put it all together for the first time, and it was weird because we were all super nervous. Like, we didn't really get, like, I don't really get super nervous for panels, and, like, I know Mark doesn't get nervous for panels at all, but we were all, like, pretty nervous for the first rehearsal. It wasn't even the first show that we were super nervous for. It was the first rehearsal of, like, putting it all together. It was weird because after doing the shows, I was more nervous for the first full run-through of the show than I was for the actual first show, which was really weird because I think it was just, like, the first time being like, all right, let's see how much of a shit show this is, but, it worked out. It worked out really well. I just remember, like, we had the music that was playing before the show started, and there was one particular song that was like, okay, once this song starts playing, you need to get ready, because after this song, this is when the show starts. So every show, we would hear that music go on, and it's like, all right, boys, get ready. So it was just such a cool experience. It was so cool, just getting to rehearse with all of those people and just like seeing it come together every single day. And then it was finally time to go off to the first venue in Dallas, and that was just insane because we got to see the actual venue before people went in, obviously, because we had to do a sound check and stuff, and there were all these chairs, and the chairs only went up to a certain point, and I was like, okay, like that's a big crowd. This is gonna be awesome. But what I didn't know is that there were only a certain amount of chairs because they only had a certain amount of room for chairs, they only had so many chairs, and then the rest was standing room, which I didn't realize. So when we went out on stage, I was expecting only the chairs to be filled, but no, it was the chairs, and then the entire room was just jam-packed with people standing around. It was so insane, and like, hearing how enthusiastic and energetic you guys were, like when the house went to half, so like the lights turned down half, that would be like a warning, like the show is about to start. The first time hearing that was fucking nuts. You guys were so loud. I'm getting like a little, I'm getting like jittery just thinking about it. Like, you guys were so pumped and amped about everything. It was so crazy. And so the house went to half and the entire venue just erupted with cheering. It was so weird. I remember when that happened, Bob and I were talking to each other, and we didn't know that the house was gonna go to half. We thought that someone had gone out on stage or something, and so we just like looked at each other and we were like, what the fuck? Because we hadn't seen the crowd, we hadn't seen like anybody because we were backstage, so we couldn't see the crowd. And so as soon as we heard that, we were like, holy shit, there's a lot of people in here. And I think that first show was like 2,400 people or something like that. It was crazy. It was so insane, and you guys were so supportive through every single show. You guys were so supportive, and you guys were so willing to participate and so enthusiastic about what we were doing. And like, the reason why the shows were so good was because you guys were so excited about it, and like, it made us do better because we were like, hey, we're doing something right. I don't know, because like, when we had fun up on stage, you guys were having fun in the audience, and vice versa. When you guys were having fun in the audience, we were having a lot of fun upstage. And so it was just such a cool experience. Weird. It just feels like a dream. It doesn't feel like it actually happened, because I'm thinking back to it and just thinking about so many people in the audience, and then just like seeing you guys lined up for the shows, and like seeing so many of you guys out there. It was insane, and just like the whole experience was just like, did it actually happen? I don't know. And then that brings us to tour bus life, because after that first show in Dallas, we got to see the tour bus for the first time, which was really cool. Like, it was it was very packed. So I can't remember how many people were on our bus. It was me, and it was Mark, and it was Tyler, and it was Catherine, and it was Amy, and it was Bob, and it was Wade, and it was Molly, and then it was Ryan, who was the producer. So there were 9 of us, and then the driver of the bus. And so there were these weird, like, triple bunk beds, like, on this, in this, like, hallway that we would all sleep in. And it was like, we all have described it like sleeping in a coffin, because it was like, you had like this much room maybe between your head and the top of the bunk. It was very claustrophobic. It was a real tight squeeze. It was like a bunch of sardines in a thing. Okay. But that was really weird, because I'm not used to lying down sleeping on the road. Because like, when you go on a road trip with your family or whatever, you can sleep in the car, but you're sitting up, like in a chair. And this was so weird, getting to fall asleep in a bed, because I'd never been in like an RV or anything before. So it was very weird, like getting used to sleeping in a bed in a moving vehicle, which was pretty bumpy too, because like roads are bumpy sometimes. So you'd be sleeping and then it's just like, whoa. I got woken up, woken up. I got woken up a few times because it was so bumpy on the road, but it was really weird. It was just really weird sleeping, and I got to be on the top bunk, which was really cool. I like being on the top, and it was fun. That was just a really interesting experience, just like hanging out on the bus, just shooting the shit with each other, just like making stupid videos, doing dumb live streams. I live streamed so many times on like Instagram and YouTube and stuff, and you guys saw that, and it was just like goofing around on the bus. We stopped at one point at this gas station, and they had this packet of farm animals, and I was like, sure, why not? Let's buy some farm animals. So I bought some farm animals, and then did a live stream of that, which was really dumb, but it was just fun hanging out on the bus, and they had like a TV and an Xbox on there, so we were playing like old Call of Duty, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, which was really fun, and we were playing like Mortal Kombat. It was just fun hanging out, and then just talking and getting to hang out, because like me, Tyler, Mark, Catherine, and Amy, like, we all live near each other and work together, so we see each other, like, almost every day. But Bob and Wade and Mandy, we don't see all that often other than, like, conventions. So it was awesome just to, like, hang out with those guys and, like, get to know them better. Because, again, like, I'm very new to all of this. Like, Mark and Tyler and Bob and Wade have known each other for a very long time. But I'm sort of the new one. And so it's just awesome getting to hang out with everybody and just to grow these friendships. And, like, this tour really brought us all closer together. Like, I feel so much closer to everybody that I work with, and Bob and Wade and Molly and everybody, and again, all of the crew. Like, it was just like this little family that we had, and it was so meaningful. And I remember the very last show, so all of the shows went incredibly well. Like, it was so amazing seeing how excited you guys were and seeing how the show affected you, and some of you guys were just like, this show is amazing, and that made us feel so good. And like, not to like toot our own horns or anything like that, because obviously the show is no masterpiece at all, but just like the hard work that we put into it and seeing that you guys actually enjoyed it a lot was amazing. And so I'm so glad that it turned out so well. But I remember the very last show, which was in Detroit. We were like, all right, this is the last show. We had done 5 shows so far, and all of them had went so well. And we had felt like we had been on the road for such a long time, I remember, because it was like we had both been away on tour for such a long time and not at all. Like, it didn't feel like a long time at all, and also forever at the same time. It was this weird thing. Again, no concept of time or anything. I still didn't know what day it was. Like, I don't even fucking, what's today? Is today Tuesday? Is today Monday? I don't know. But it was the very last show, and we were like, all right, this is it. This is the last show. And so we did a little huddle like we did every time before the show. We did a little huddle and just, like, talked to each other and pumped each other up. And so we were just like, all right, this is the last show. Let's make it the best show. And honestly, like, the last show was the best show that we had. It was just like, I can't describe it. And after the show, we went out on stage and just, like, talked to people for a little bit. And we all got very, very emotional. And a big reason why I got really emotional was because, again, I'm very new to all of this kind of stuff, and just like working with the people that I work with, and just like being obviously I'm not the biggest YouTuber ever, but like being a bigger YouTuber is like something that is very new to me. You know, like in the grand scheme of things, the channel is still small compared to like Mark and Jack and Felix and stuff like that, but also the channel is nearing 400,000 subscribers, which is an insane number. 400,000 people. I can't even picture that in my mind. Like, that is absolutely insane, and I never thought that the channel would get to this point. And that's what I was thinking of when we were out on stage, and we were out there just talking to people, and I just started thinking about my roots and like where I came from, and I had started thinking about the beginning of YouTube and the first time that I had ever met one of you guys. And I just was thinking about like how far we've come, how far I've come, and how much I've grown, and how much we have come as a community and a channel, and how much we have grown together. And I was just like thinking to myself, and I was just like, I never ever dreamed that I would be on stage in front of over 2,000 people performing a show for you guys with like some of my inspirations. And it was just like this weird moment, and I just started crying. And it was really special. It was really, really special, because I just like had this moment of sort of realization, and I was just like, my dreams have come true, and it's all because of you guys. It is 100% all because of you guys. And I seriously like can't thank you guys enough. For those of you who have been here since the beginning, because I know that there are still some of you that have been here since I had like 100 subs, which is absolutely crazy that some of you guys have stuck around for so long. And some of you subscribed today. But for those of you who have been here, whether you've been here for a long time or a very short time, thank you for giving me a chance, and thank you for sticking around, and thank you for being a part of this community, because, like, ever since I started YouTube, all I wanted to do was YouTube. Ever since I started, I was like, this is it. This is the thing. Because so many people spend their whole lives trying to figure out, like, their calling or what they were born to do or whatever. But I found YouTube, and as soon as I got into it, I was like, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. This is the thing. And so now it is the thing that I do with my life. My entire life is YouTube. Everything that I do every single day, I'm constantly working on YouTube, and I am constantly surrounded by people that work on YouTube, and it is all I do, and it is all I ever want to do, because, like, this thing means the world to me, and all of you guys mean the world to me, and I can't believe how far we have come as a community, because I remember just thinking about, like, these kind of things back when the channel was super small, being like, oh, one day, like, it would be so cool to do a panel, or it would be so cool to be able to do YouTube full time, or it would be even just, like, the silly things, like, it would be so cool to make a video with Mark or Jack or blah, 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 blah. And now, like, those guys are my friends, and I work with them every day, and, like, I get to do panels, and I get to see hundreds, sometimes, like in this case, thousands of you guys, and it's fucking weird. It's so weird. It's so weird and so cool, and I know that I'm repeating myself nonstop because that's what I do, and that's the way that my brain works, and I'm sorry, but I just cannot thank you guys enough, because, like, going on tour was not only a crazy experience, but it was one that I never even thought of having. It wasn't even something that I, like, dreamt of doing. It wasn't even a thought in my mind that I would be a part of something like this. And it was absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait to do it again. And I don't have any details or anything on when we're going on tour again or what cities we're going to, so just stop asking, because I don't know. I'll let you guys know once I find that out. So don't worry about that. I'll let you guys know when we're going on tour again and what cities and stuff like that. But I can't wait to do it again, and I can't wait to put more work into this thing, because it was a really, really cool experience. And but at the same time, I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be back making videos. I'm excited to get back to the day-to-day grind, because I really missed making videos, because I don't know, when I'm away and not in my recording room, I'm like, shit, I want to play video games and scream really loud again. So it's definitely nice to be back. So for all of you guys that were at any of the shows, thank you guys so much for going, and I hope that you enjoyed it, because fuck, like, it was one of the most fun things that I've ever done, and it was seriously like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and, like, I still can't believe that it was a real thing that happened. So crazy. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to slap that like button right in the face, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you all. Stay cranky. Bye.